Hello and welcome to Blockchain Gaming World with me, John Jordan. So I am going to have a look at the new Mecha Citadel game. So this is a sort of social hub space that has been made by the MEKAVERSE NFT collection developers, or sort of team, in conjunction with Core. So Core is a sort of, I guess broadly you could say, it is a sort of Roblox type platform. It is a way in which people can make their own games using these sort of assets and the sort of engine provided. It actually uses the Unreal Engine, so it's pretty high end. You can get some high end results from it. So you can have proper developers, professional developers doing it. Or obviously people just know how to use Unreal. And you basically, to do this, it's a PC platform, so you have to download the Core engine. You do that through the Epic the Epic Game Store. So Core, the company behind it, Manacore, are partly funded by Unreal, and you have all these different games in there. So these are games that are sort of playing at the moment. Obviously, sort of tend to be multiplayer type games as you would have with Roblox. You set up an account. You've got to have the usual sort of profile stuff, and yeah, let's not go into all that. So I've loaded this up already, so I'm just gonna come in here. So here we go. So we can see there's a few people just telling us the Meta Citadel. So this avatar here has nothing to do with the MEKAVERSE. This robot character is just my character within Core. So you can set that up, and you can see there's a few people sort of spawning in. So one thing you may notice is, follow me, is this little robot. So this robot is my Mekabot. So the Mekabot are NFTs that were airdropped to holders of the MEKAVERSE robots. So the MEKAVERSE robots was an NFT mint on Ethereum, start of 2022, I think. It was quite high profile at the time because they were these sort of complex 3D images, although all you got was a flat sort of 2D version of that. But it always had this idea that they were going to be these big 3D images, 3D sort of characters, and potentially there'd be a game behind it. But obviously the advantage of doing something with Core is Core provides all the gameplay stuff, all the gameplay basic sort of tech and plumbing, and potentially sort of payment systems and stuff. And all developers have to do is sort of build the assets. So what's basically happened here is the Core team and the MEKAVERSE team have got together and basically built. This is just say a social hub, so a place where people can meet up. Looks pretty cool. It has a whole sort of Japanese ethos that the MEKAVERSE sort of has. And obviously mechs are pretty strong in Japanese style gaming. But the one thing it also does is the Core platform does is it allows you to connect your MetaMask wallet. So basically you can connect your MetaMask wallet, and then the games within Core can see what NFTs you have, and then that's interesting stuff you can do. So in this case, it's seen that I have a Mekabot, and I can then select a Mekabot to follow me around. So you need to own the Mekabot NFT in order to have the Mekabot in this environment. So that's sort of not massive utility, but some utility. And it sort of shows obviously to other people that I actually own one of these Mekabots. If you look at my gamer tag, so GamesTX, the picture there is of a MEKAVERSE NFT, and you can see here there it's an OG Mecha, and you can see the number. So that's again, you can have as your profile picture any NFT you've got in your wallet. They just sort of just pulling that in as a sort of PFP. So a few sort of nice things there. So there's not a lot you can do really in this. You can sort of wander around. You can go into the hub and then go into other Core games from there. And there's these sort of temples to the various different factions of MEKAVERSE. But there is one other thing we can do. And you can actually only do this if you have one of the MEKAVERSE NFTs. So I actually own 3 MEKAVERSE NFTs. So we have to go over here and we go into this little shuttle, and that's going to take me to another part. It's actually a separate 3D environment. So we're going to just sort of going to have a loading screen as it sort of takes us away up into the spaceship. Actually, other things you can do, I think one of the splash screens will show this, is you can actually have your NFTs. You can put them on T-shirts, so you can use them as basically textures that you can use in different ways as well. So sort of interesting that how Core is doing this with allowing you to bring in NFT assets in there, and there's a few other teams working with it. So the Loot, which is an open sort of RPG NFT sort of platform, I suppose, of its own protocol maybe, and lots of people are building stuff within Loot. So people are building 3D world using loot, and it's also the Oni Force team. Uniforce, no, Oni Force. Are also doing something with core, but I haven't quite seen what yet. So here we are in the mecha hangar. This place is reserved for mecha holders only. So these you can see here's a guy coming up here. We can see he's got his there's his mecha bot. So we can see here this is sort of for people who actually own these NFTs. And we can see here updating this area regularly. The first update coming soon will be a training center, so you can see your mechas in action. At the moment, all you can do here is you can sort of just see the mechas. So let's go up here, and we can see here that basically they have these bays, and there's all these mechas here. So basically, they all seem to be the same. Someone's gone in and put all their mechas in there. That's odd. So we can see here this is the serial number of the mecha. So I think sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. So I'm going to put in. I'm just going to. You could call in a random one, but I'm going to call in the one I'm actually using for my profile picture. So there we go. We can see there that's the same image as I've got up here. So tick, we'll bring that in, and now basically that one will go away, and my mecha is going to come in. I can't do anything with it. It's just showing me the 3D image, but we can suddenly get sort of an idea of the scale, and I can imagine. I can at some point be able to sort of jump in. Maybe my avatar in core will be able to jump into that big mechaverse and fly around and probably have battles with people, or all the usual stuff we'd expect to do in a mecha sort of game. So this is sort of interesting because this sort of core integration, the integration with core means that any NFT sort of any Ethereum NFT can become very easily become part of a 3D world, and obviously the trick will be building interesting 3D interactivity into that, and that's sort of hard unless you're a good game developer. But this just gives people, it allows people to move from some 2D artwork, into a 3D world, and obviously lots of people are sort of doing that now. Obviously, the Bored Ape people are building this whole enormous sort of metaverse of their own, very expensive, using different tech, of course. But most teams don't have that sort of expertise or that sort of amount of money. So you could imagine, the Supducks or the the Pudgy Penguin teams, or things that were just sort of fun 2D art, Goblin Town or something. I mean, quite how you make this into 3D, I don't know, but that's sort of a problem they have to solve. But now immediately they could create these sort of things. They could even create sort of 2D games, I suppose, if they wanted to. I suppose. I mean, Unreal's not really designed for that. But immediately, and then sort of quite quickly now, you could get these teams building on a well understood sort of tech core using Unreal. And then basically just taking a representation in 3D of their 2D stuff, and then even if it's just people just wandering around saying hello. I mean, there's no chat within here yet, which is sort of interesting. There is sort of chat within core. There's some sort of customization options here, so I can customize my nameplate, and I could choose a different meta bot if I wanted a different one of my other ones. I suppose it's this polls thing, which I don't think is there anything. I think that is. Not really, I haven't really used that yet. So it's very sort of early days to where they're going to go with this. Oh, what's happened there? That wasn't here before. Very sort of early days to what interesting. To what could be happening here. We'll see where they end up. That's my mecha box again. But it's sort of interesting, and I think it just gives a place for people, sort of communities to sort of coalesce, and you can actually do something for the first time in a 3D world that you couldn't do before. So there we go. Keep an eye on what's going on in terms of Mekaverse and in terms of the Mecha Citadel. I think it's pretty neat, and I think it would be interesting to see whether Core as a games platform, which is sort of adopting NFTs or allowing additional use of NFTs. If that will sort of really sort of take off and become a sort of a powerful thing for the whole sort of NFT community in which to build out these sort of interactive experiences. They may not be sort of full games, of course. So keeping an eye on that and see how it progresses. Thanks for watching the video. See you again soon.